This is the single biggest thing that's happened in independent comic books since Image Comics started in the 90s. We're talking about the RIPPAVERSE, over $2.5 million in about a week or so. And I thought this was honestly something everybody would have known about. I saw it kind of when it first started coming out. And I mean, within $1 million within the first 24 hours, pretty incredible. But we talked about this during our Comic Book Babble-on that we do most weekends on a Friday or Saturday night. It is our live stream where Dustin and I go through and babble on. But a lot of people didn't know. I don't think anybody actually knew, but maybe one or two people in the chat. So I wanted to do a quick video on this, and maybe it's something you're interested in. But right now, as it stands, $2.669 million, almost $2.75 million in revenue within about a week or so. This comes from Eric July. I don't know much about him, and I don't know much about any of the other creators on here. But what I do know is this, again, is definitely the biggest thing since Image Comics for independent comic books. And at this point, this definitely makes him the largest black comic book publisher, period, out there, bar none, the largest. So pretty exciting stuff, pretty interesting stuff there. And again, over 30,000 people have purchased from him. It's quite impressive, to say the least. Now, what is it about? It's about ISOM. ISOM, his real name is Avery Silman. He's a rancher down in Texas, and I think that's pretty neat because most cities, you're basing it off of New York or some big metropolitan area, and we're in Texas, so that's pretty cool. And he was a entry-level hero for a little bit named ISOM, and he stopped and then came back after he got a call from his sister, and that's where the story picks up. So this isn't just one issue. You know, this is 96 pages. So, you know, a normal comic book, you're probably getting around 18 to 22 pages worth of story most of the times. So this is somewhere around 4 comic books in total. Now, what's interesting about this is also the kickoff point for his entire universe that he describes it. And that's pretty interesting because I think a lot of independent comic books do a good job of world building and things like that. That's always my favorite part of diving into independent comic books. And this is a guy that seems committed to not just a small world building, but something that he plans to take out to a wild and just really large scale. And now he's definitely got the funding to do it. You know, this isn't, you know, he doesn't call this a crowdfunding. This is a pre-order campaign. He's funded it all, so it was going to happen regardless, but just literally smashed his revenue goal by 2,677% at this point. Look at it a little bit more in detail, kind of what the costs are, things like that, in some of the offerings, you know, the different covers and things like that. You can go onto his website and read a little bit more, watch some of his videos, things like that, but at the core of it, it's about Avery Silman, the rancher, who's a former superhero coming out of retirement. And hopefully we get some before and some after and some understanding of why these people in this world have superpowers. You know, I love that kind of stuff. And that's why I think I really enjoy manga, because you get a lot of really cool explanations and very interesting during those times. We'll go through cover A, 96 page. That's the main cover. And I'm really liking the character design. I love orange. I love green, so I think that's really cool. I think it's a cross there on the waist, so I think that's pretty neat. And then you have cover B, and I'm starting to get some Invincible vibes a little bit, and I'll show you guys a little bit further. Cover C, definitely getting some Voltreons, not Voltrons, Viltrumites. Sorry. It's been about 1.5 years since I read Invincible, but we'll look at some of those in a second too. And you can get some signed copies, things like that. Now, my big hold up for this, and of course some T-shirts and other things like that, some posters, and then this right here. Oh, concept art books. That's pretty neat. So some of the interiors, so pretty cool there. But this right here, this is where that little section right there, I'm like, okay, that looks like Viltrumites from Invincible. I think it's pretty cool. I like it. I love the full body militaristic kind of suits. So overall, looks like a really solid artwork there. You know, nothing like, wow, like Ryan Stegman worthy artwork or something like that, but pretty darn good. And again, I don't know anything. I don't even know who these other guys are that are on this. So I have nothing to compare some of their other work to. Now, the only holdup for me is for $35 plus shipping and tax. You're getting close to that $50 mark for a 96-page comic. Like I said earlier, generally these like $12, $13, right, for something like this might make more sense. But at the same time, this is an independent publisher. You've seen, I've backed crowdfunded books who are, 20-page comics for $20 in the past. So 35 all in all is not bad. But you definitely can't sit there and go like, okay, Marvel, DC, these big companies with these massive publisher or printer deals and, using the cheapest quality paper, maybe this will be better. So, and I wonder if this is printed here in the US or if it's outsourced to China or somewhere like that, like some of these other publishers do. Just some food for thought on the price. And then he has in his about section this very interesting code of ethics. So, you can read through this a little bit, but basically, some of these are pretty interesting. Respect the customer, right? I think that's a really, really solid code of ethic. Respect the people that you're trying to sell your book to. Canon and continuity. This is something that a lot of people struggle with. Marvel, DC, some of these other ones, is because you can't necessarily go pick up any Marvel or DC comic book and know exactly what's going on, or go and try to find a decent pickup point. I mean, hell, DC has rebooted, killed off, and restarted about 15 times since the late 90s. Sarcasm, but not really. And then Marvel, they've done the Ultimate Universe and some of these other things, and they've retconned so many things. If you were to try to pick up a Spider-Man comic book, you would probably have a hard time trying to understand why all of a sudden he is here or there or doing this or that. For example, right now I'm on the Superior Spider-Man. If you didn't know what the heck was going on leading up until that point, you'd go, what the hell? Why is Doc Ock all of a sudden Spider-Man in Peter Parker's body? And that's fine, but this is really important. And this is also why I think manga does a good job, because you can always go pick up volume 1, know exactly where to start, follow through pretty easily. And it sounds like he is going to try to stay very committed to that. So that's pretty cool. Comprehensive timeline. Again, falls in line with canon continuity, things like that, being very specific to the source material, which is all his source material, right? So interesting there. And then, of course, you can sign up and all of that stuff. So overall, I mean, this is really big stuff happening in independent comic books. People always say, if you don't like it, do your own thing. And it sounds like that's what he's done. So, guys, let me know what you think about this. Is this something did you even know about up until this video? Because, again, I thought this was a pretty, wide topic, and apparently not. But, guys, you're the best part of Tubular Comics. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it out. And, as always, collect your way.